You're watching VinylicPumaGaming. What's up, guys? So today I wanted to go ahead and talk a little more about Borderlands 3. While I've discussed when I think Borderlands 3 will be released in the past, I never took the time to look at Gearbox's track record for all of their video game releases. Now, keep in mind, this video is a predictions/speculation video on when the next Borderlands, or whatever it ends up being called, will be released. For that reason, it's important that I stress that everything I could be going over here could be entirely wrong. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and discuss previous Borderlands games and the history of Gearbox software since 2009. So the very first Borderlands game was released on October 20th, 2009 in the States, and 3 days later everywhere else. In the same year, Borderlands 1's first two expansion packs, which included Zombie Island of Dr. Ned and Mad Moxie's Underdome, were first released in November and December of the same year. Of course, that was on Xbox 360. Now, the second two expansion packs, which include General Knox and Claptrap's Robot Revolution, were first released in February and late September of 2010, respectively. So, General Knox came out in February, and the final DLC for Borderlands 1 came out in late September. The next game Gearbox released was Duke Nukem Forever, which launched on June 10th internationally and on June 14th in the United States. However, before the final Duke Nukem DLC came out, Borderlands 2 was officially announced on August 2nd, 2011, roughly 10 to 11 months after the release of Claptrap's Robot Revolution DLC for Borderlands 1. About 2 weeks later after that, Borderlands 2's teaser trailer was released, first giving us a glimpse of Salvador the Gunzerker and letting us know the game was to release in 2012. The Doomsday trailer for Borderlands 2 came out in February of 2012 to announce the September 18th, 2012 release date for Borderlands 2, and of course, the rest is history. Borderlands 2 featured a similar release schedule to Borderlands 1. The first piece of content was Gage, which came out in early October, with both Captain Scarlet and the Torg Campaign of Carnage DLCs coming out in the middle of October and November, respectively. In 2013, Gearbox released Alien Colonial Marines, which its DLC ended in July 23rd of the same year. Now, at the very same time, Gearbox released more DLC for Borderlands 2, including the other two campaign DLCs, Krieg the Psycho, the Ultimate Vault Hunter upgrade packs, which also include Digistruct Peak, and the first three Headhunter packs. Now, in 2014, Gearbox finished up the last two Headhunter packs and released the final Borderlands 2 DLC, Sir Hammerlock and the Son of Cromarax. However, 6 days before the Son of Cromarax was released, Borderlands the pre-sequel was announced on April 9th, 2014. About 3 months later, in July 2014, Gearbox's Battleborn was announced with a 2015 release date. The pre-sequel went on to release on October 14th of 2014, with Tales from the Borderlands releasing about 1 month later on November 25th, 2014. Now, Gearbox then released Homeworld Remastered Collection on PC in February 2015, and during this time, the pre-sequel went through its cycle and released its final DLC on March 24th, and Tales from the Borderlands released Episode 5 on October 20th, 2015, which officially wrapped up both games. Now, Battleborn, on the other hand, held a technical test in late October of the same year and was set to release in February 2016. However, after the technical test, Gearbox delayed Battleborn to May 3rd, and during this time, they released Homeworld Deserts of Karak. In late April 2016 of this year, Gearbox announced that the next game they would be working on after Battleborn was Borderlands 3. Now, following Battleborn's release, there is no official confirmation, but Battleborn DLC is expected to complete sometime between 2016 and 2017. 2 weeks ago or so, Gearbox announced that they were re-releasing Duke Nukem 3D, which comes out in October 2016. Something you'll notice is that Gearbox generally tends to follow a pattern with their releases. Most games are released within Q1 or get released sometime between Q3 and 4. The longest gap between games is Aliens Colonial Marines and Homeworld Remastered, which was a period of 2 years. Remember that Borderlands the pre-sequel was not primarily developed by Gearbox Software and was primarily developed by 2K Australia instead. When it comes to Borderlands releases, a new game is released every 2 to 3 years. The original Borderlands game came out in 2009, Borderlands 2 came out in 2012, and the pre-sequel came out in 2014. If Gearbox decided that they wanted to keep the 2 to 3 year period between releases, then Borderlands 3 would actually be coming out next year. However, I have some issues with this that I'm going to explain right now. While Gearbox has quote-unquote confirmed Borderlands 3, unlike the reveal of Borderlands 2, we've still not seen a teaser trailer for Borderlands 3 yet. It's also worth mentioning that Mikey Newman quote-unquote confirmed Borderlands 2 in 2009 by saying, and I quote, "Yes, I can probably confirm that there's a chance of a Borderlands 2. I mean, with anything, especially a new IP, if people want more and you can make more, and everyone can make money and do good business there, it obviously makes really good sense to do that." End quotes. Now, given that Borderlands 2 was the most profitable game in 2K Games history, it seems like there will be at least a Borderlands 3. We also have to consider Battleborn, which came out in May 2016, about a year and a half after the pre-sequel, and it's also worth mentioning that Battleborn has not even completed its DLC cycle yet. Now, from what I can tell, and you guys can correct me on this if you want, there's supposedly going to be 5 to 6 new Battleborn characters that are going to be released. Currently, we know of 4 of them. 2 of them have been released, and 2 more have simply been announced. There's also supposedly some campaign DLC for Battleborn, which has not been released yet at all. My guess is that Battleborn's DLC content will wrap up sometime between the end of this year and midway next year. Generally, Gearbox supports a game with DLC anywhere from 6 months to a year after release. You're going to find that this is the case with both Borderlands and some of the other games like Aliens Colonial Marines. This means the final Battleborn DLC could come out in April 2017. Then again, according to Take-Two executives, Battleborn underperformed and may result in some of the DLC being cancelled, just like how some of the DLC was cancelled for Borderlands the pre-sequel. My thinking is that the last Battleborn DLC will largely determine the release date of Borderlands 3. If the final Battleborn DLC is released this year, it's possible that Borderlands 3 could get a Q1 2018 release. If the final Battleborn DLC gets released in the middle of next year, it could be much longer than that. It should also be noted that the previous 3 Borderlands games, including the spin-off games, have either been released in Q3 or Q4. Borderlands is arguably Gearbox's and 2K Games' biggest franchise, and a fall release makes a lot more sense to me personally. A lot of people are willing to spend money during the holidays and the Christmas season, and that's going to be the perfect time to sell your biggest game. As I said earlier, we've still not seen a teaser trailer for Borderlands 3. With previous Gearbox-developed games, you usually see a trailer a year before release. Borderlands 2 had one, as did Battleborn. In the case of the Battleborn teaser, Battleborn was originally slated for a 2015 release, but got delayed to May 2016. There's a possibility that something similar might happen with Borderlands 3. Perhaps we'll see a teaser trailer for Borderlands 3 maybe next year, but the game might not even come out until 2019. My opinion is that I think if it did come out in 2019, it would be a Q1 release date. I don't see Q3, Q4 for Borderlands 3 in 2019. That is an extremely long time. If you ask me, I don't think Gearbox or 2K Games would want to wait more than 4 years to release the next Borderlands. Because when you think about it, a lot of the people that played Borderlands 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel, they might have moved on by then. Either way, guys, I don't see the next game coming out for at least another year and a half. If I were to put my money on it personally, I'm going to say that Borderlands 3 will release late Q3 or early Q4 of 2018. Ultimately, though, 2 things will greatly determine Borderlands 3's release date, and I recommend that you keep an eye out for them. The final DLC for Battleborn, and a Borderlands 3 teaser trailer. When we know both of those things, we're probably going to know when Borderlands 3 is going to come out. Alright guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like and let me know, when do you think Borderlands 3 is going to come out? I mean, do you think it's going to actually come out in 2017? You ask me, that's a little early, but do you think it'll come out in 2018? Or do you think it'll come out in 2019 and possibly even after that? I mean, it would be pretty crazy if Borderlands 3 came out in 2020, but who knows what'll happen. But again, guys, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.